Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Welcome back. We are here with another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. As always, we've got Kelly Cook in the house. How are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm doing great. It's a new year, 2021. Looking forward to it. It's going to be better than 2020, which, by the way, in the real estate industry, 2020 is a pretty good year.
It wasn't a bad year. Not for real estate. I mean, everywhere else in the world, every other aspect, maybe not that great, but real estate came out on top of 2020. We can safely say that.
It did. It did. Absolutely.
So just to kind of recap our year of 2020, kind of everything that we talked about, we, dive deep into how you can get started as a real estate agent. We also really did a whole series on how to build a real estate team if you're at that point in your career, or if that's just kind of one of your end goals. Go back and listen to that. We did a wonderful series on that. Very informative, how to build it up. Today, we want to kind of take a step back and, it is a new year. Maybe it's time to reevaluate some of the choices that you're making in your real estate career, or where you want to go in the next 5-10 years. And so whether you're a newer agent or, like I said, just kind of trying to better yourself, one thing that you can look at is which brokerage model is right for you, right? So you might be in one right now. Maybe it's not working out the best. Maybe you want to look at other options. If you're a new agent, you want to explore all of your options before diving in. That's what we want to talk about today. There are three main kind of types or categories that they can fall into. And so Kelly's going to break those down for us today and figure out, which one might be best for you and your work style.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, Elizabeth, how many agents I talk to that, whether they're brand new or maybe a year into the business, or even experienced, agents who have been in the business quite some time, don't really understand, take a step back, understand the different options they have at their disposal for why they're at the brokerage they are at, right? They just went to a brokerage because of a recommendation or whatever, right? An ad they saw, and they never really explored all the different types. But it's very important to know because you get a lot more value at some brokerages as opposed to others, right? And we're not here to promote or pick on any types of brokerages or companies, if you will, right? In the real estate industry, that's not the point whatsoever. There are certain things that may not work for my team, but for someone else, it may work perfect, right? That's the idea, to make sure everyone knows the different strategies or different models, I guess, if you will, of those brokerages. So on one end of the spectrum, you have what we call a dependent type brokerage model, okay? Now, generally speaking, these are kind of like, or traditionally speaking, these are kind of like the brokerages that have some sort of always ongoing royalty fee. Their splits are usually a little heavier towards the agent, but hopefully they also provide some value that the agent, finds to be very, valuable for that cost. So, for example, say the brand names you might recognize that will fit in that category could be Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Russ Lyon Sotheby's, Century 21. Let's see, what else? Remax could fall in that category, right? And so on and so forth. There's other ones too. Those are like the bigger ones. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have what we call independent brokerages. Now, these are kind of known as the mom and pop type brokerages, right? Low fees, usually like a monthly fee plus some sort of transaction fee. People who don't do as much volume or as many unit counts tend to gravitate towards this model, but not everybody, right? There's a lot of teams and solo agents that do a lot of business with those models as well. But typically, generally speaking, a lot less support from the brokerage because maybe you don't need it, don't want it, or you have your own internal support as a team, right? And then you have in the middle, right? In the middle, we call it interdependent, and that is like the Keller Williams, EXP, Exit Realty, some of those brands that are bigger that fit in the middle as interdependent. Now, what does that mean? That means that you have the support of the full service dependent brokerage, but you also have a capping model, which upon a certain production limit or maximum for the year, you then go to the independent model from a compensation standpoint, where you're getting 100% of your commission, once you do a certain type of production. And I personally love that model, the interdependent model. And the reason why is because there should be a value to the brand name of the brokerage. There should be value to some things they provide from the brokerage standpoint. And that list can go on and on. But there usually is a point of diminishing returns for the value of that brand. Because at some point, people, buyers and sellers, use you as an agent for you, right? You could be with this brand or that brand. It doesn't matter. They're going to use it for you, right? Now, will everybody do that? No, there could be some people who are very brand dependent, albeit that is shifting slowly away from that, over time as time goes. But that's the spectrum from dependent to independent with interdependent in the middle of the brokerage models that are out there for anyone to choose. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. And it's interesting how there's within those categories, there are a bunch of different ways that can be broken down as well by splits or whatever it is. But
Yes.
I like how there's the three main categories that pretty much any of those can kind of fall into.
Yes.
Is there, and again, not to promote or pick on any one brokerage, but is there a model that you think works better for more people, or like one that's more attractive that you see more people going toward?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, if you're somebody out there who doesn't have a desire to do real estate necessarily as a career, right? You might want to help friends and family, and that's it. So maybe you're going to do several transactions a year. It probably doesn't make sense as much to go towards the interdependent or dependent side, right? Because for those 3 deals you do for the year or whatever it is, you're not going to cap out, and you're going to, pay more to the broker than you would if you were with the independent model, right? So I think that would make more sense in that situation. Now, because you can always go hire a coach. Some people will go to the independent side and you may receive a lot less value, but you will maybe hire a coach, right? That's independent of all of this stuff, right? With their own coaching company somewhere else, who's going to hold you accountable and coach you up and get you going, mentor, train you, etc. That works for some people. Then you have teams, right? Teams are a big part of this too, because you have teams that choose not to have the liability of the contracts that the broker has with the State Department of Real Estate, but they want to provide the same value and then some, right, that a broker does. So, for us, we're a team within a brokerage model. We fly under the Keller Williams umbrella, and that's not to promote Keller Williams as one, for example, but that is a situation where we are really a team within a team, right? A team within a business within a business, if you will. We could change the name on the front door, tomorrow, if you will, and not miss much of a beat, most likely. But we choose not to, because there is value for what is being paid being with Keller Williams, at least we feel, right? Someone else may say, that's not much value to me because looking for something else, and that's fine. They would go elsewhere. Also, too, within some of these brokerage models now, there is something called profit share or revenue share, right? Which is interesting, right? So maybe an agent wants to explore that. And what's cool about that, and usually that's just found with the interdependent model, right in the middle, the Keller Williams, the EXP, and so on and so forth. What's kind of interesting about that is you can be paid from the brokerage a certain amount of money every single month based on the amount of production the agents that come into the company that you brought in do, right? So that's kind of cool. So it's like almost a side business by doing nothing more but talking to other agents or other brokerages about coming to your broker, right? So that's kind of, it's a secondary stream of income, which I find kind of attractive as well, because I don't go out, and that's not my main thing. That's not my one thing, not even close, but we do obviously have some influence in the local marketplace. And, if someone's seeing that we're doing a good job, we're succeeding at a high level, they might say, I wonder why. Well, one of the reasons could be the brokerage, right? So they come over and then they have more support and so on and so forth. And then obviously, as long as they're with the company, you're being paid for the production they do. So the company at the highest level forgoes some of the profits to pay them out to the agent, if that makes sense, based upon that, right? So that's kind of interesting too, guys. If you have now, obviously the interdependent model, that's more of a flat fee, monthly fee, desk fee, transaction fee. I'm not aware of any of those that do that, right? They don't have the money to do that because it's very, very low cost to be there, right? But with the interdependent, you could possibly have the full service, you have the support brand name, yet you and you cap. So you pay into a certain amount of production, and then you cap anything above that's 100%. And then in addition to that, you also have enough funds there to make the brokerage profitable enough to be able to pay profit back to the agents responsible for bringing the most people to the company. So that's kind of cool, right? It's called profit sharing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, there you have it. There are the three main, brokerage models that you should look at when you are, getting into the business, or like we said, kind of reevaluating if your brokerage model is working for you with what your goals are, if it's aligning there. And if one of your goals is not switching brokerages or anything like that, but is building a team, Kelly, can they learn more about building a team from you?
Yeah, obviously, definitely listen to this podcast because I'm passionate about this, Elizabeth. I want everyone on my team and in the real estate industry out there who wants to build a team, run it like a business, to be able to do so. And I'm passionate about helping them to do so. So if you guys go to www.buildyourrealestateteam.com, there's a free download in there where I break it down step by step, 7 steps with modules that you should take in sequential order in order to build out your real estate team.
Absolutely. And if they want to talk to you about any other topic, brokerage models, or, what we're thinking the real estate market's going to do this year, how lovely Phoenix is this time of year, anything like that, where can they reach out to you?
Yes. Come on down, guys. Weather's perfect right now. But seriously, 480-227-2028 on my cell, or, info@kellycookhomes.com. And please give us information that your topics you want to hear on our podcast, and keep subscribing and smashing that like button. Please.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to be a guest as well, we have had a good run with some guests lately. We're hoping to line up some more coming up this year. So if you have some interesting stuff that you can help bring some value to our listeners, please let us know, and we can get you set up and have you on the show.
Yeah, we'd love to know what your superpower is, and dive into it and discuss it and share it. Share it to the world.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Kelly.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.